Good evening, Ram fans. Welcome back to another edition of CTV Sports. I'm Mike Walsh.
And I'm Leah Cackowski. Here's what we got on tap for you tonight.
Colorado State men's basketball secures 2 wins over Nevada and UNLV in preparation for the Mountain West tournament. Meanwhile, women's basketball falls short of a home win against UNLV.
Softball struggles to find their rhythm this weekend at the Hillenbrand Invitational, hoping to secure a win at their home opener this Friday.
And men's golf finishes 13th at the Prestige, while swim and dive finish up their season at the Mountain West Championships.
All of that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now.
Women's basketball had a week's worth of hype building for their game this past weekend with UNLV. But before they got to that matchup with the #1 team, they had another conference foe to defeat.
Yeah, Mike, they had a much easier game in their matchup with Fresno State, the #6 team in the Mountain West. And in all in this one, it was all things Rams.
As it usually goes for these reports, it was Emma Ronziak, the transfer forward, that carried the offensive load for the Rams, finishing the night with 23 points while bringing the Rams to an absolute blowout win. Putting up shot after shot, it felt like Ronziak's name was called over and over again, and the best part, the 4 3s she drained put the Bulldogs to bed.
And on the stat sheet, it was more of the same, as the Rams simply beat Fresno State all across the board, grabbing more boards, dishing out more assists, and even stealing a few more steals than the Bulldogs. And what's more, the green and gold scored 28 points in the paint compared to just 16 from their opponent. Simply put, the Rams were just more physical, and the Bulldogs couldn't keep up.
Yeah, Leah, that night was pretty spectacular for the Rams, but unfortunately their next matchup did not have such a happy outcome. Once again, defending the home court at Moby Arena, the Rams welcomed the #1 team in the conference, as I said, the Lady Rebels of UNLV, and this one came down to the final few minutes. Seeing the Rams get within 2 with about 30 seconds left, it seemed like a game-tying shot was destined. Unfortunately, though, the green and gold ran out of time, and Marta Lemaine just shot went just right of the basket, and the Rams' comeback fell just short. But it really came down to the little things, and the stats told the same story, seeing the Rams actually grab more steals and blocks than the Lady Rebels. However, the Rams fell short when it came to the rebounding battle, while also giving up 5 second chance points, a number that could have changed the outcome of this game. And the surprise star of the game was another transfer in Hannah Semental, who put up 19 points.
Yeah, Mike, it really was a game of inches, and the Lady Rebels proved they had just enough to get the win. But Ryan Williams wasn't down after the game, saying this about the loss.
You see why UNLV's at the top. You see why they've only been beat a couple times in a couple of years. Their kids shoot with incredible courage and confidence, and they just make you pay for giving them open shots. And I thought we had the same opportunities early. Our best shooters were getting shots. To win a big game, you got to perform. And we just, in the shot making area, just not good enough early. Really like the fight. Our kids showed.
And like Coach said, this team is good and has been the #1 team in the conference all year long. So a 4-point loss really isn't something to be that upset about.
No, I couldn't agree more, Leah, but I think we have a little more positive news from the men's side. So how are those games last week?
You know what? Just great, Mike. Colorado State men's basketball had a busy week, going 2-0 with the win at home against the Wolfpack, and then shining bright in Las Vegas to beat UNLV. Last Tuesday, the then 15-11 Nevada squad came into town with a game plan, besting Colorado State 36-33 in the first half. Their senior staple player, Nick Davidson, racking up 12 by the break. CSU couldn't say the same, having a lopsided offensive performance that didn't get going until the second half. Their main struggle being disciplined with 9 turnovers that quickly flipped as Nate Clifford got going and ended with 22 points and 9 rebounds. Rashawn Bemba got his first double-double of his career, and senior leader Jalen Lake put up a solid 14 points and 5 rebounds, so the final score being 79-71 Rams.
After that one, we fast forward to Saturday, and UNLV almost got away with this one as well. It was a very strong defensive start from the green and gold to quickly jump out to a 14-2 lead. However, after that, the Rams struggled to score, only going 1 for 12 in a shooting stretch that gave UNLV a 20-18 lead on the end of a 15-2 run. Panic started to sink in with Nate Clifford only having 2 points in the first half, but a nice second half start came from a pair of threes from Kyan Evans, and the Rebels continued to respond, going on a 10-1 run to take the lead with 13 minutes left. But after the 3-minute mark, CSU had it, holding the Rebels scoreless and taking the dub 61-53.
You know, Mike, we're coming down to the wire with the regular season's close on the horizon in just over a week. So, as of right now, if the Mountain West tournament was tomorrow, here's what the bracket would look like. And
it's looking pretty good for the Rams.
Looking pretty good for the Rams. Again, Colorado State right now is in that 3 seed spot. So again,
They play the winner of UNLV versus Fresno State right now.
Which, in my opinion,
those are two teams that they just recently beat.
And that sounds pretty good to me. But again, as you can see, San Diego State is right behind CSU.
It's going to be a race for that 3, 4, and 5 seed.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think Utah State and New Mexico have separated themselves, but that 3, 4, 5 could change any moment.
And Colorado State getting a win over Utah State coming up this weekend would be huge. And I mean, they have to win against Air Force tonight. They have to beat San Jose State. They need to win out for the season.
One thing that is for sure, they are locked in a top 5 seed, so they do get that bye. So that's for sure, that's locked.
That's what's important, but it would be nice if they could solidify that.
Agreed.
Number 3 spot. Hopefully Colorado State will remain in that 3 seed and make a really good run in Las Vegas. And well, Mike, one player who has been a part of it all is none other than senior Jalen Lake. I had a chance to talk to him about his tenure as a Ram. All right, Jalen, you're a senior. You did it. We made it. What has it been the biggest difference this year of your first day walking through Moby your freshman year compared to this year?
And I feel like the biggest difference is just me being a leader, being able to lead guys. I feel like when I came in, I had a lot of really good leaders, a lot of vets that kind of showed me the way and showed me how it is at this college level.
You make a great point. You came in during a time your freshman year where you have guys that are in the league right now. David Roddy, Isaiah Stevens, they're very vocal. And I feel, maybe you came in more quiet. This year specifically, how have you been able to show that leadership, though, being a leader on the team, like you said?
Right, yeah. I mean, I feel like in these past few years, I feel like I've done a good job of leading by example. But what I wanted to focus on this year was just trying to be more vocal.
You are the only 4-year legitimate senior on this team. You've been here your entire time. What does that mean to you? Your entire tenure has been being a Ram.
Yeah, no, it's super awesome. I mean, I feel like it's been super welcoming since I came in as a freshman. Just the community, I feel like, has been, and the support is just so awesome, and I felt right at home.
I mean, it's been nothing really but success, too, especially, like you said, with that freshman year, going to March Madness for the first time, however many years, getting a win in the tournament last year. Do you ever have a moment that you could depict where you kind of had to step back and be like, wow, this really is my life right now, this is what I'm doing? Can you pick any of those moments out specifically?
I feel like I really took a step back last year and just really, when we made the tournament for that second time, because obviously we wanted to get back there, and just being able, like you said, getting a win in the tournament.
For me, I think maybe for you too, I could be speaking for you, and basketball fans everywhere, the season highlight, I mean, Boise. In that moment, I know you said in your press conference, you said you kind of blacked out a little bit, which I would too. 24-hour rule, though, what were you feeling?
Oh, man, it was a really good feeling. No, I mean, I feel like that moment right there, just for me personally, it was probably one of the best moments of my college career, just being able to hit that shot, and especially against a really good team like that, and the white out in that crowd. So that was just super fun and probably one of my best moments.
Obviously, you have been a loyal Ram through and through. If somebody were to come up, they're a high school kid, right? They want to play here. What would your pitch be to them to why they should choose Colorado State?
The culture is number one here. I feel like it's better than any other place. Just the connection that you can have with the coaches and the community. I feel like I've built relationships that could last a lifetime here. People that I know I can trust, people that trust me. I know that I can go to anybody, whether it's my teammates, my coaches, friends, whoever. I feel like I've built so many relationships around here.
Just culture and climate. Team together.
Team together.
Always team together. Well, it's time for the bonus round. You're a Texas guy.
Yeah.
I have to know this as a true Coloradan is, kind of in the middle. Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Oh my gosh, Whataburger. All day, every day.
Okay, why?
Well, I feel like the fries are better, one. I feel like it's better, but I feel like you got so many different options too than just like a burger. You got like the Texas toast. You can switch it up with that. You can put the chicken tenders in there, switch it up. So I feel like I just got that, but Whataburger all day.
Okay.
I go a little bit behind.
Oh, behind. All right. Oh, okay. All right. I keep thinking I'm going to overshoot it, and then I hesitate. We're just going to edit out all my misses. Oh, God. Oh, God, I don't. Yeah. Okay, wait, then I'm asking you a question before I miss this, just in case it's a really short video. What was your Spotify Wrapped this year?
I think number 1 was Drake.
Cool.
I had Drake number 1. I love Future. He was 2. And then 3, I listen to Brent Faiyaz a lot.
Oh, okay, nice. Very cool. No! Who's your all-time starting 5 in the NBA of anybody? Like you could pick any player. Who is it for you?
Steph.
Okay.
Steph Curry number 1. At the 1. Michael Jordan 2.
At the 2. Okay.
LeBron.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, LeBron 3, and then 4. 4 man, I gotta go Tim Duncan.
Oh, I love Tim Duncan. He slept on. I feel like people kind of not forget, but I like him at the 4.
4, and then
who's
5,
your center? Shaq.
Most dominant big.
Okay, I like playing these because it shows clearly of how much better you are and should be better than me at basketball because I have not played in a very long time. But thank you so much, Jalen. It's been so fun to watch him contribute to Ram history for the last 4 years. I feel like that's extremely rare to really stick around in one place these days with transfer portal too.
I agree. I mean, this guy he's been here forever. You never even heard a report about him wanting to leave.
And he's been important as well since his freshman year. He's been a part of everything, a key player to the Rams, so it's been really fun to watch.
I think they're playing right now.
Mike, you're correct.
How's it going?
Well, a little different than I was thinking.
Yeah.
So we're playing Air Force right now, and it's tied in the first half. Jalen Lake and Crocker Johnson have the most points right now, 7 each.
Okay.
Nate Clifford only has 2 points right now, so.
I mean, we just talked about it. He did that in the other game. He had 2 points in the first half, then he ended with 22. So
yeah, so
you
slower first half start, but the Air Force being at the very bottom of the conference, I would expect to win from CSU today.
We'll leave it at that. We don't need to talk too much about it. We'll leave it at 19-19.
Yes, exactly.
Let's go to some golf. Men's and women's golf had all the action this past week, seeing the men finish up the Prestige hosted by UC Davis in La Quinta, California, while the women competed in the Westbrook Invitational in Peoria, Arizona. First, looking at the men, the green and gold notched a 13th place finish with their top 2 golfers tied for 39th place to lead the way. Both Roy Williamson and Christophe Lear shot an even .213 score, good for par on the weekend. And what's more, Williamson had 37 pars, good for second across the entire field. Unfortunately for those two, though, the rest of the squad dropped off fast, with scores rising from +4 in Jake Rogers all the way to +16 with Matthew Wilkinson. So some good and some bad from Prestige. One thing that is for certain, though, is that the men's season isn't over, as they turn the page to March 10th for the San Diego Classic. But as I mentioned, CSU Golf was played by both teams this weekend as the women went down to Peoria, Arizona to test their luck in the Westbrook Invitational. And unfortunately for the green and gold, it was once again a one-woman show, as Cara Canisiero just can't stop placing in the top 10. Taking 6th place was an overall score of -8 and a top round of -5. Canisiero now has 3 top 10 finishes on the season, but after her is where things go wrong, as the next Ram wasn't seen on the box score until number 31, where Lacey Uchida shot at -1. So Uchida was not that far off Canisiero, so maybe the competition was just that good. But regardless, the Rams took 8th place as a team and now have a few weeks off. And when they return, it will be more of that sunny Arizona weather as the women will travel to the Wiggin Resort for the Clover Cup.
Colorado State's softball season is in full swing, and so is their competition. The Rams faced some of their toughest battles yet over the weekend at the Hillenbrand Invitational, seeing 3 ranked opponents and the most notable, number 1, Texas. And okay, I'm going to keep this pretty short because the green and gold didn't thrive down in Arizona this weekend. However, they did compete against some of the best softball they'll see all season, which is always a great way to get prepped for conference. Going against number 1 Texas and, twice. And then number 11 Arizona and number 20 Stanford. Their most competitive matchup came from the 8 innings against UC Davis to get their lone dub of the weekend. Jaylee Wilson led the Rams offensively, crushing 2 home runs over the Aggies. This one deep to right center on the first pitch of her 5th inning at bat. And heading into extra innings, tied at 5, it was Autumn Rutherford that broke the tie for the Rams, setting in Kaylin English with an infield single. But it was senior Jordan West who launched her 2nd home run of her career to seal the game for the Rams in the top of the 8th. But we can't forget to mention the pitcher and catcher duo of Reagan Wick and Brooke Bolander. Wick went for all 8 innings, starting the first 3 without a hit, plus striking out the side in the 2nd. She recorded a career-high 11 strikeouts, throwing 112 pitches against the Aggies. Wow, impressive nonetheless as a sophomore. And senior Brooke Bolander recorded 11 putouts while also going 3 for 5 from the plate while scoring a run for CSU. Now look, don't be discouraged yet, Ram fans. It's rare to face the best teams in softball this early in the season, let alone facing the #1 team in the country. Twice. Yikes. But we're just getting started because guess what? The Colorado Classic is back and here to stay, coming this weekend right here in Fort Collins. So make sure to stick around as the Green and Gold look to get some good momentum going into their home opener.
CSU Swim and Dive competed in the Mountain West Conference Championships this past weekend, placing 7th out of 10 total teams in the tournament, while San Diego State won their 4th consecutive title in dominant fashion. Scoring a whopping 1,283 points compared to the Rams' 697, it was an Aztec takeover down in Houston. But obviously there were still some bright spots for the Green and Gold, like Tess Weinrey in the 200-yard backstroke, who placed 3rd with a time of 1:56.49, just a few strokes behind the 1st and 2nd place finishers. But after that, the top 3 placement, it was less of the same, with other notable performances coming in from Lexi Treatley in the 50-yard freestyle and Maya White in the 1650, both taking 4th. At the end of the weekend, it wasn't what the Rams had hoped for, but there is no time to waste, as the NCAA Championship diving meet is just a few weeks away. So make sure to check back after March 10th for some results. But for now, I think we have finally finished our CSU sporting news. Let's take a quick break, but when we come back, we got all things college basketball.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
And getting right into it, we are going to the top games of this past weekend, starting, of course, with one of our more debated games from Pick'ems last week in Michigan versus Michigan State. I actually went Michigan here.
I went Michigan too. This game crushed me, honestly.
I
I was so confident that they were going to win.
They were ranked 12. They're at Michigan. Dusty May, their head coach, has been feeling good. I thought it was all the signs were pointing towards Michigan.
Well, and you and I went so in on their center
Yep.
goal, and he had 21 points this
So
game.
he did good. You're right about that.
But I think what really killed them is just shooting from 3. They
Yeah.
were 5 for 21 behind the arc, and I think that's really what killed them in the
I
end.
mean,
But
as you see right here, Michigan State's a good shooting team.
Yeah.
I know it was a bank shot there. I don't know if you really want to count that as
But
good shooting, but
either way.
they were a good shooting team in this game.
Yeah.
And they just dominated.
yeah, that was a tough one for my Pick'ems record.
But
for
next,
sure.
I think we got to go a little more local
Yes.
with some Mountain West games. First, with a close one with
Oh my
Nevada
gosh.
and Boise State, as close as you can get.
Yeah.
We had a 70-69 game with Boise State taking the win. Still, Kobe Sanders on Nevada dropping 30
30 points
at the end of a loss.
at the end of and I mean, but that's what says it though. Like
Yeah.
Nevada, again, they're the number 7 team, right?
Yep.
Boise's number 5 this year, which I feel like is not very traditional for Boise
Yeah,
State
they
to
just
be
got
lower.
that win over New Mexico, so
Yeah.
they're feeling like a better team.
It was really just back and forth the entire time. I mean, we're always going to hear about Tyson Degenhardt. He's always just going to be around. But
Yeah.
This was just a good game. Like, honestly, that's all you can really root for. It was just a good game.
I didn't think Nevada had it in them
No.
to go up against a top team like this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty surprising for me.
Yeah,
But
me
the
too.
next one was also a pretty big one. It was the big win for Utah State over the Aztecs.
Yeah.
They shook up those standings we were looking
That
at.
really, because when we were talking a little earlier, I mean, again, Utah State is up, like they are number 1 right
Yeah.
now, or number 2, right?
Yeah,
So,
number 2.
and San Diego State being right behind Colorado State, I did not
I mean, if
think it
San
was
Diego
going to be this
State
close.
takes the win here,
Yeah.
the standings look a lot different.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, the Nick Boyd for San Diego State, 29 points,
Yeah.
crazy. So.
Yeah, I mean, but just Utah State team has scores everywhere. I've never heard of Dexter Akano.
No, I was going to
He
say,
had 26
Akano Dex,
points.
26 points.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm thinking Ian Martinez. I'm thinking Mason Falslev. I'm not thinking about Dexter. Like, they just have options everywhere.
Yeah, no.
It's a tough team to beat.
I agree.
Finally, we had to talk about one of the most controversial calls of the season. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it in a video. But
Mike,
this game,
explain
this
it for
game
us,
between
please.
BYU and Arizona came down to the absolute wire with the final score being 96-95. And it really did come down to the last second with about 2.3 seconds, I think it was. Richie Saunders of BYU goes down. This is what I'm saying we can't get a video of for some reason. But this is what happened. Richie Saunders goes down, gets fouled pretty much from no contact, in my opinion and a lot of people's opinion. Get these 2 free throws right here, and the game's over. So many people saying Arizona was robbed.
Well, and especially, too, I mean, it didn't hurt Arizona necessarily. They were 19th, and now they're 22nd.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt them a lot, but the way it happened, it was just terrible. If you can find it, you got to find it online. I couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah. But those 2 free throws completely just destroyed the game.
Yeah, as crazy ending as you can really think of for the games that we saw last week.
But I mean, there were plenty of games to choose from. College basketball just has so much action every single week.
Yeah, Mike, but I think we should give someone else a turn to talk. You know, AJ, what is the latest on the bubble watch for March Madness? Please tell us.
Thanks, Leah. I'm AJ Fredrickson, and I'll be taking you through important dates coming up in March Madness, as well as a current look at the bubble. After all of the conference tournaments finish, the official start of March Madness takes place with Selection Sunday on the evening of Sunday, March 16th. Following Selection Sunday is the start of the men's NCAA tournament on Tuesday, March 18th, while the women's NCAA tournament doesn't begin until Wednesday, March 19th. Heading into March Madness, only 68 teams can qualify for the tournament, with 64 teams being left after the play-in games. Heading into the end of conference play, it's going to get tougher and tougher to differentiate some of these bubble teams, as it's proved difficult to pick up a big resume-boosting win at this time of the year. You can't mention this year's bubble without mentioning the legendary year the Southeastern Conference is having, and the current 5 teams in the SEC that are right on the bubble in Vanderbilt, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Georgia, all hoping to earn a bid. Another big story comes from the Big Ten, with it having its usual suspects at the top, including Purdue and Michigan State, but teams like Ohio State and Indiana are sitting right there on the bubble, with teams like Illinois and Nebraska struggling to keep their footing. Lastly, in the Mountain West, Joe Lunardi's recent bracketology has San Diego State with a last 4 bye projection, while Boise State is in the next 4 out. The biggest thing to keep an eye on throughout the league as we head into March is the elusive double bye in the conference tournament, with placing inside the top 4 in your conference, which could pay massive dividends for some of these teams on the bubble. Don't go anywhere yet, Ram fans. After the break, I'll be joining Mike, Leah, and Hunter once again for this week's Pick'ems.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
we're in a 4-foot group!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do?
Okay. Hold on. All right. Wizard. You gonna roll?
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and to my favorite time of the night, Pick'ems. We're staying in Ram country for these first couple of games. First one, we're going CSU versus Utah State right here at Moby Arena this weekend. What do you guys think?
I kind of am starting off with some negative energy,
Yeah,
even
me
though
too,
we just
honestly.
did some real, just had a great story with Jalen Lake.
Yep.
In my opinion, Utah State, I think, is a better team this year. And we lost to them, not terribly, but we could have had it in Utah a little earlier this season. And Ian Martinez for them is just so amazing. And I think it's going to be hard for Colorado State to come out with a win with this one. And if they do, it's going to be really close. And we did beat them last year. We killed them by 20 points
This is
at
a
home.
completely different team, though.
So, for me, I hate to pick Utah State, but I'm trying to beat Mike and pick them this year.
Let's hear about the CSU.
Give me the Rams in this one.
Yeah.
I think this is a must-win game. I mean, you have to win this game to get the tournament.
You do.
So I just think it's a must-win. I think they just come out with a lot of energy, and I think they were playing a little soft against Air Force to prepare for this game.
As much respect as I have for Utah State, their program, what they've done this year after losing their coach, everything, I got to go CSU.
So now this week you guys are going to CSU.
I just don't
home round. I mean, I guess. I'm going Utah State. I think it's also a little controversial. I just think they're a better team. I don't think
Yeah.
the game they were down by 20 when they were at Utah State.
Yeah.
I mean, it was never really a close game there.
No.
So I just can't see a world where CSU kind of reverses that.
Well, and honestly, we've kind of haven't really seen that real home court Moby advantage this year. It
You see
hasn't
against
been.
bad teams.
Yeah.
I mean, Boise State, that was like the anomaly, I
Yes.
think. But
Yeah.
This could be
Yeah.
the game that it comes.
it could be.
Let's hope.
They need it.
Yeah.
They need
The
it
Rams
so
need it
bad.
at some point. Obviously, I'm cheering for the Rams, but I'm going to
Yeah.
go Utah State.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's go to the women. We got CSU versus Nevada. This one is at Nevada. What do you guys think?
I'm more positive this one. Let's
Okay,
go
there we go.
CSU. Nevada is number 9 in the conference.
Yeah.
Where Colorado State is number 2. I truly think that game we just saw against UNLV, like Colorado State is arguably the best to second best team
Yeah.
in the conference. So I don't see there's any way that Nevada comes away with this.
I think that kind of did solidify CSU as the second best team. I think UNLV is probably easily the
100%.
first,
Yeah.
the first team. But that's good for CSU
Yeah.
because Nevada's 9th. I mean, I think this is an easy game for CSU. I'm going to take this one pretty easily.
Yep.
Yeah, CSU easily in this one.
CSU sweep this weekend. That's
Yeah.
what I'm going
Okay.
with.
I like it. We're going more home.
The positivity.
Yes. No, I like it. All right, let's get away from CSU.
Yes.
We're going to Bama, Tennessee.
Bama, what do you guys think on this one?
powerhouses.
Yeah.
I love Bama. I've been
Okay.
supporting Bama all year. They go 9-10 deep. Their offense, their tempo that they play with. I just think it's so hard to beat them when they're scoring 90 points a game. I got to take it.
So is it Kryptonite Auburn then? Just Auburn?
Probably their
Okay,
kryptonite, but they're everyone's kryptonite.
Okay,
They're so good this year.
Yeah.
No, I think Tennessee at home is just so much better. I mean, they just beat A&M on the road, but I just think Tennessee at home is going to take this one over
Yeah, I
Alabama.
won't lie. That win on the road against A&M is really what's
Huge.
compelling me to
Huge.
choose Tennessee here. I wasn't very high on Tennessee until that win over A&M. I thought A&M was really good at home. Tennessee just went in there and took a win. I mean, that's pretty much the only reason I'm going with them.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee too because they are at home and they also not alone A&M, but they beat number 5 Florida at the time too.
Exactly,
Tennessee is number 5 right now. Florida being number 3, but I think being at home, that sea of orange is just going to be thriving. So I'm going Tennessee on that one
I
for
agree.
sure.
I
Defense
know.
is legit.
You're sitting alone.
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
That's all
That's
right.
okay.
That's all right.
That's
We'll go
okay.
to another SEC matchup with Texas A&M versus Florida.
Yeah.
Florida just took a huge loss to Georgia, unranked Georgia team.
Unreal.
So, I mean, what do you guys think
Out
about
of
this one?
nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even with that, I still am taking Florida.
okay.
I mean, they're at home as well. So again, Texas A&M number 12. For me, they only have 4 losses on the year. One of them being that
Yeah.
Georgia team, the other being to Tennessee and Kentucky and Mizzou. So I'm going Florida on this
Yeah, I'll
one.
tell you, the Swamp, the Florida's home court,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a crazy home court advantage when they're good. When
Yes.
they're bad, they don't really show up as well,
Yeah.
but they're good. They're ranked number 3 in the country. Who knows whether they'll be ranked this Saturday, but
Yeah.
at home,
Yeah.
I don't see how you could choose against Florida.
Yeah. I mean, A&M just lost 2 games last week. You got Florida at home. Florida easily.
It's hard for me not to back A&M. I love what they do with the offensive rebounding,
Yeah, for
and that's
sure.
Florida's biggest strength is probably their offensive rebounding.
So that's why
A&M
it's-
does the same thing.
it's a good
so
mix, yeah.
it's tough, but I
We're
like Florida.
agreeing. I'm
Yeah.
so happy that we're
We
agreeing.
got
You
two.
too.
All right, I don't know if we
Really
have one
nervous
for
or
this next
whatever.
one, but we're going Michigan State versus Wisco. I know we just talked about
Big
Michigan
game.
State.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got some Wisconsin fans up
Yes.
here, so I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? It's a tough game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Wisconsin in this one. I think they need a bounce back win after losing to Oregon. I mean, they're killing Washington tonight, but they need a real, another good win like they beat Purdue.
Yeah, I will tell you, this Michigan State win over Michigan is huge for them. I think that's
Yes.
going to give them a lot of momentum, especially because it was on the road.
Right.
I don't know. I think Wisco's got a tough battle coming into it for them. Lee, what do you think?
I think I'm betraying Colorado State tonight. I'm going Michigan State and rooting against John Tonje.
Come on.
He does have 19, almost 20 points per game
Yeah,
this year, which
yeah.
is unreal. But that Oregon overtime loss, they were on a 5-game win streak going
Yeah.
into that. But I just think Michigan State over that Michigan win, and they're at home. That's why I have to go for Michigan State. And they beat Purdue. They beat a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Mizzou. I can't read my
I
handwriting,
just
but
think this has to be a prove-it game for
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It has to be a prove-it game for John Tonje. If he has another stinker in one of these big games,
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
taking his name out of the All-American conversation,
I
out
agree.
of the Big Ten Player of the Year conversation.
Yes.
I think they have to have a big
They have
game.
to have
so it's okay. We've both been lone wolves today, I guess.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
go.
I've gone against them before, but I like Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Chooses
I-
against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yes, always.
Off that big win, I think that's a big emotional win for Michigan State over their rival
sure.
in Michigan. And I think
Yes.
they're just, if they start slow against Wisconsin, they get burned.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Badgers are hungry, man.
Yeah, I like it. I like Wisco win, but we'll go to the Nuggets.
I think we
Yeah.
should go to the Nuggets.
This is a tough one. Yoke's got a battle with Giannis.
Yeah.
What do you think, Leah?
Well, That's going to be the talk of it. I mean, they lost to the Bucks last year, but again, it was Giannis and Jokic, and Giannis bested him barely last year. He had barely more points than him, but Nuggets are 3-2 against the Bucks the last 5 games. So I think this is such an equal matchup. Like, they're both super high in the standings right now. Yep. Nuggets are number 2 in the West. Bucks are number 4 in the East. They've been battling it out. I gotta go Nuggets in this one. They need this win, especially playing these top-ranked Eastern teams. Like, they have one of the toughest schedules in the NBA these next 3 weeks in the stretch, so they got to get this win on the road.
You guys are also.
I mean, even though the Nuggets lost on Saturday, which was awful.
We don't want to talk about
that. They're still 10-11 in their last 11 games.
I want to talk about that.
Still 10-11 in their last 11 games, so they're 10-1. So I think the Nuggets are going to roll the Bucks.
Healthy Giannis is always scary, especially on Jokic. Giannis is scary. Dame, I like a lot of guys on the Bucks. I got to go with the Bucks.
Yeah. I think that the Nuggets are they're not regressing at all. Like, they were on that win streak. This is a tough loss to the Lakers. I just think this Bucks team is clicking at the right time, and I think they could steal a win like this against a top team and really put their name back on the map. Because this whole year they've kind of just been middle of the pack. Like, they're
so
injured, not really sure. I think this is the type of win after a tough Lakers loss for the Nuggets that the Bucks could steal and kind of propel themselves to a better playoff position.
I mean, and if the Nuggets do genuinely want to make a stand this year and make a playoff run, then they need to win this game too, because it's on the road.
I won't lie, the battle of Damian Lillard versus Jamal Murray is not hard for me. I'm choosing Damian Lillard 100% of the time.
Well, Maul is either so on or so off. So that's my
part.
Though. Exactly.
He has been on lately, but I do agree with you with that. At home, Lillard has it. So we got one more.
Let's go to
hockey. Got one more. Hockey experts, please.
I did, as someone who did take Canada, it was hard going against the USA, but as someone who did take Canada, I got to go with the Avs here. I was thinking about switching to the Devils because I love Jack Hughes. Devils are my team, but the Avs have been rolling, and I think they'll keep it going.
I wouldn't say the Avs have been rolling. I mean, their last 2 games. I think they only won 2 games this month, but I'm going to go with the Devils in this one. The Devils are a more hot team. Avs are at home. I can see them bouncing back, but I just don't like taking teams that are on a losing streak.
I won't lie to you, Leah. I looked at the records, and I said they got about the same, flipped a coin, and went with the Devils. So
I was about to give you a high five because I thought we both picked the Avs. And
I'm sorry. I saw you guys are picking. I got to be different here. I'll choose the Devils.
I'm like, as a diehard hockey fan that we are clearly compared to these guys. No, I got to say, loyal. Colorado Avalanche, they are at home. They're favored. They're right in the middle of their conference right now. So I'm like,
I'm rooting for them.
I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, same.
Honestly, total coin flip. I agree with you.
Good ending point.
Good ending point. So you know what, Ram fans? That is unfortunately all we have for you tonight. So stay safe, enjoy this nice weather, and we'll see you next week.